Good morning and welcome everybody to yet another innovative and hopefully pleasant experience courtesy of Cluj IT Cluster. This is our first online edition of Cluj Innovation Days, our flagship event which we have been organizing annually since 2013. Traditionally, this event would happen during spring, in April or May, but nothing this year is going according to tradition. My name is Andrei Kelemen. I am the CEO of Cluj IT Cluster, the organization behind this conference that has shaped the present and, I believe, the future of the city. For those of you who do not know much about us, I have only this to say. We are most probably the largest innovation ecosystem in the country, with more than 70 companies and 9 universities as active members, and many other stakeholders along the IT value chain. But most importantly, we have been acting like an agent of change. It was with this event that we brought into our community new concepts and the desire to advance. In 2013, when we had the first edition, the word innovation was exotic, and many rejected it as a symbol of undesired change. In the best case, it was the last thing on their list of priorities. And yet, change is what we needed the most. We rebranded the city and helped the administration and many important stakeholders in our ecosystem to depart from the traditional discourse and embrace a modern approach to development. Back then, we called it Cluj Innovation City. In 2014, for the first time, the president of the European Commission, Mr. José Manuel Barroso at that time, pronounced the name of my native town in a press conference held together with the Romanian president. He heralded Cluj Innovation City as an excellent example of a multi-approach, large-scale project that should be followed by others across the EU. Since then, we continued to help our communities to transform for the better through technology, but mostly through new ideas, because our event is not about technology, but about the change for the good that technology can facilitate. Each edition of Cluj Innovation Days has been the occasion for accommodating in our ecosystem concepts such as technological transfer, smart cities, digital medicine. We organized in 2015 the first dedicated e-health conference in Romania, and smart specialization or digital transformation. But more importantly, we created bonds and relationships that allowed for this community to advance to the point that it has become a model for most of Romania and one with more and more profile on European level. I am sure that this edition will be no exception. We have a lineup of incredible speakers from across disciplines and geographies. Because of COVID-19, everything is closer now. We have participants that registered from almost every continent of the globe. But what makes me really proud is that we have so many women speakers. Some would say that we dare to go so far as to organize an exclusively feminine panel. Yes, we dare to do this because excellency in leadership knows no gender. I hope this will catch on, like many other things that we did first with this conference, and become a tradition in all events organized here in Cluj and Romania. Two are the overarching topics of this year's edition of Cluj Innovation Days: future of work and resilience. They were discussed and agreed last autumn in one of our monthly board of directors meetings. Little did we know at that time that they will be so relevant today when the pandemic is still ravaging our lives, our societies, and economies. Because there are many things that we have felt we need to discuss or bring to the attention of people and organizations, we have extended the duration of the conference to 3 days. The first two are almost entirely in English, while the third is in Romanian. Access to the conference is free, and we take pride in this. We want to keep this event open for everybody, for as long as we can. I am looking forward to everything that will happen during these 3 days. I have picked some favorites, but I'm most likely biased, so I will not try to influence you in any way. I will leave it up to you to check the event agenda and choose your own favorites. And don't worry, if you miss something, we will do our best to make the recordings available for later viewing. With one notable exception, the keynote speech of Professor Daniela Rus that closes the second day of the conference. For this one, you will just have to be there. Nothing that happens during this edition of Cluj Innovation Days would have been possible without the invaluable contribution of several organizations and their people. Besides Cluj IT Cluster, the event is supported by Babeș University, the largest university in the country, and I take the chance to acknowledge here the full support of Professor Daniel David, the rector of the university. So a heartfelt thank you from my side. The event is free thanks to the support of Asociația Patronilor și Meseriașilor Cluj and the Informal School of IT as Cluj IT's partners in the Future Skill Projects, an EU-funded project which we started together last year. We have also joined in this effort. We have also been joined in this effort by Emerson, Dell, the Hasso-Plattner Institute in Germany, and the Digital SMEs Alliance from Brussels. I am really pleased to see such prestigious organizations taking interest in our event. It means we are doing something right. And speaking of doing, I want to thank also Activize, who have brought into this project a lot of enthusiasm and professionalism. I want to acknowledge publicly their brilliant work. So thank you, Mircea and the team. Before we dive into the program, I cannot skip the chance to urge you to visit the virtual booth we have lined up for you. We have companies and organizations, we have projects that are related to innovation and technology. But we also have a series of booths of high school students that you just need to see. They are part of the program Discover Your Passion in IT, and I had the honor this year to be part of the jury that judged their one-year performance. All I have to say is that with such young talents, the future looks bright. Last but not least, I want to thank my own team at Cluj IT Cluster. They have done a tremendous job under difficult circumstances. If something goes wrong during these 3 days, I am to blame, not them. For any questions regarding organizational aspects, functionalities of the platform that we use, or any other issues, please address them by writing to contact@clujit.ro. We will do our best to help you out. That's it from me for now. I will invite now Professor Stelian Brad, our president, to open the conference. Stelian, the virtual floor is yours.
Cluj Innovation Days 2020 is part of the Future Skills lifelong learning program. The project is co-financed from the European Social Fund through the Human Capital Operational Program 2014-2020.